Pointing out the snowflakery of those on the progressive left is like shooting fish in a barrel. But let's not pretend that the same behaviour can't be observed on the right. It may be less hysterical in tone, but it isn't any less ridiculous. Take the latest nontroversy around what Jeremy Corbyn did or didn't say in the House of Commons. Apparently Jeremy Corbyn mouthed the words "stupid woman" in reference to Theresa May. Here's the devastating piece of video, so make sure your children are out of the room lest they be traumatised. Now, Corbyn later denied saying "stupid woman," instead claiming he said "stupid people."
During Prime Minister's question time today, I referred to those who I believe were seeking to turn a debate about the national crisis facing our country into a pantomime as stupid people.
And remember, he wasn't speaking on the record, he was literally talking to himself. But so outrageous and seemingly vital to the national interest was this incident that the "stupid woman" jibe made the top of the 10 o'clock news and the front page of practically every newspaper. Not only that, the press summoned a crack team of lip readers to divine Corbyn's exact mutterings. Now, for the record, I think Corbyn said "stupid woman," but whether he said "stupid woman" or "stupid people," as he now claims, is to miss the point. This should never have been an issue. "Stupid woman" is a perfectly acceptable thing to say if that's what you really think. And here's a woman saying exactly that.
I think they hurl insults at each other all the time in Parliament, and I think the whole point of actually making insults gender appropriate, it's just ridiculous. People call each other insults all the time that aren't gender, make no sense whatsoever. But why? I was surprised he even backed down off it. I was surprised he didn't just stick to it and said, "Yeah, I called her a stupid woman, and I think she is," because he obviously does. And it just, I can't believe anyone would get offended by the gender of it more than anything else.
But back to the right-wing snowflakery, and Exhibit A, Conservative white knight Paul Scully.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You helpfully circulated an update on the behaviour in this place. Now, this year, when we've been celebrating 100 years of women getting the vote, do you think it's appropriate language, can I ask my right honourable friend, to call people a stupid women in this chamber?
And of course, May herself didn't turn down the opportunity to play the female victim card.
Can I say to my honourable friend that I think that everybody in this House, particularly in this 100th year anniversary of women getting the vote, should be aiming to encourage women to come into this chamber and to stand in this chamber, and should therefore use appropriate language in this chamber when they are referring to female members.
Notice both May and Scully invoke the celebration of female suffrage. You know, when women gave up absolutely nothing for the right to vote, unlike men who could be marched off to war and perhaps their death. How could we forget those brave women's? And here's Conservative MP Anna Soubry.
I have to say this. If it was one of my male colleagues on this side of the House that had used that expression against a woman on the front bench on the opposition, then you, sir, would take action immediately. Please, would you deal with it, as you often do, Mr. Speaker, in a fair way, but also from the point of view of women in this House who are fed up over decades of being abused by men?
Now, she's right to point out that if the parties were reversed, the Labor Party would be up in arms. But there's a more relevant thought exercise to go through in these types of situations. Imagine if a female had mouthed "stupid man," or better yet, "stupid old white man." She probably would have received a standing ovation. But once again, men and women alike capitulate to the double standard of treating women like emotional invalids that can't handle criticism. But perhaps Corbyn's biggest mistake was to assume May's gender. I mean, tell me this isn't a non-binary dance move.
Oh, Jesus!
Brendan O'Neill, as he often does, had a sensible take on Stupidgate.
Brendan, does it matter what he said?
I think he did say "stupid woman," and I think it doesn't matter. I think in the heated House of Commons, there is always going to be those kind of exchanges. There is always going to be fruity language, offensive language. That is the nature of politics, particularly when the stakes are as high as they are at the moment in British politics. But I think what we have in response to his comment is just another outburst of confected outrage. I think it's really it showed two things. Firstly, it showed that people on the right can be just as snowflakey as people on the left, and they are ostentatiously taking offence on behalf of women everywhere in this kind of slightly pathetic way.
Or creating a distraction from the government's failure to do anything about Brexit.
Or creating a distraction,
Some would say.
That's right. But they're doing it in a way which is incredibly reminiscent of the left when they get outraged and turn into snowflakes over passing comments or offensive comments. The other thing I think it shows, it absolutely exposes the hypocrisy, in fact, of Corbynistas, because if a male Tory politician had said that about Diane Abbott or anyone on the other side, they would not have shut up about it for weeks on end. They would definitely have held up that comment as proof that the Tory party is institutionally misogynistic. So I think it's a ridiculous episode in many ways. We shouldn't be focusing on it as much as we are doing, but it is illustrative of the kind of censorious culture that now impacts on the right as well as the left, and is indicative of hypocrisy in the Corbynista camp.
So if the political establishment in the UK is wasting their time with this crap, is it any wonder they can't sort out a Brexit deal? Now, it would be fitting to end this video with the Steelers Wheel hit song Stuck in the Middle with You, but of course including just a few seconds of that song will get this video pinged for copyright. So instead I'll just ask you to let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.